And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be completing the Moogle Delivery quest chain by doing the quests introduced in patch 2.55. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we're here once again with the Deputy Postmoogle right next to the Aephorite Crystal in Lower Linza Laminza. And let's accept the last couple of quests from him and we will see what happens at the end. So for now, the two quests are called Blues on Emerald Avenue and Better Left Unfound. So let's accept both. I believe after these two quests are done, there's just one more quest and then that's it. So anyway, it says a Postmoogle's fluttering seems more frantic than usual. So let's accept. So he says, "Dear me, a fine mess this is. A fine mess indeed, Kupo. I didn't notice you were there. I was too preoccupied with living a Postmoogle's worst nightmare. I have a letter with an unreadable address. All I can make out are the words Mond and Aldar. The rest is illegible squiggles. Who could it be? Slymund? No, maybe Bymund or Frymund? Oh, of course, Wymund. Yes, Wymund, the Sultanate's information monger. Not a single doubt about it. My assistant Wymund in Aldar is our recipient. Now take this letter to him. I believe he can be found on Emerald Avenue most days. I'll rest easy knowing it's in your experienced hands." Cool. I mean, Wymund is also the person who started off the Hildebrand quest chain as well, so we know who he is. So this next quest is called Better Left Unfound. So he says, the Postmoogle's quizzical brow suggests he has an unusual delivery for you. So, Mithrie, you've come not a moment too soon. I have a letter addressed to Landernell over in Camp Tranquil that wants for immediate delivery. I hope he isn't inclined to send a reply, though, because there's no return address to be seen. But one task at a time. First of all, we, and by that I mean you, must see the letter safely to Landerland's hands. I must warn you, though, rumour has it it's the good captain of the Sixth Spear has been acting strange of late. Perhaps this letter has something to do with it. At any rate, best not keep him waiting. Now off you go, Kupo. Cool, so we're going to do them in order. So let's go to Aldar first. And Wymund is right there next to the Aephorite Crystal, which is great. So let's go, let's go, let's go. Sprint. Here we go. Here's Wymund. Let's speak to Wymund. So it says, if it ain't my venturing friend, or is it postwoman today? I can't say I was expecting mail, though. So let's hand over this letter to Wymund. It says, the Deputy Postmoogle assures you this missive is intended for delivery to Wymund, despite the lack of markings on the envelope. Hand over. So, Raymond, we have your daughter. Demands behind the stack at Copper Bell. Obey or she dies. The Purple Haze. Oh dear. 'Tis a ransom note. Why'd you bring this to me? I ain't Raymond, you fool. And I can't very well look the other way, can I? Course, I'd have to be the Goddamn's Purple Haze. Cruel sense of humour fate's got, making me remember what I've worked to forget. They're a gang of crooks who'd do in a newborn babe for the right price. Thought they all got thrown into the clink before the calamity. If they're at large again, then we've got to stop them. Aye, my home plus your blunder makes it we. So I'll thank you to get their demands from Copperbell. Cool. So let's go to the Copperbell Mines, which is a short run from Horizon. So let's go straight there. So it's nice as well that you can click on the map to get teleported directly to places. So here we go, Copperbell Mines, just to the east of Horizon. Also the place we go to gather, I think, iron ore as a miner at some point. So, like I said, few seconds and we're there, no problem. And let's look for the clue that we've been looking for. what little remained of his world. Landalel was convinced the world hated him, and he returned that feeling in kind. He'd become a monster. That is, until he met the commander and was taken in by the company. I dare not think what would have happened had they never crossed paths. And it was not as easy feat to be sure, but the commander helped Landalel set aside the anger that had taken control of his life. It was Landalel's love and respect for the commander that brought him peace, but the selfsame love may cost him everything he had achieved. The man who wrote the letter suspected as much and used this ruse of a memorial service to bring Landalel to me, but I fear he's not like to understand why that letter was sent to him. I realized you were only entrusted with a simple delivery, but it would mean a lot to me if you could keep an eye on him. If he seems to be losing his way, please give him a gentle reminder of our company motto. Knowing him, he will next go to Wineport. Whenever he was in trouble, he would always seek out Shamani for advice. Godspeed, friend. Make sure he doesn't hurt himself or anyone else for that matter. Okay, so let's go to Wineport. Teleport right there. Right, so here is Landalel talking, as was said, to Shamani. So I simply do not understand Shamani. How could Whiskey put aside our search like that? Does he no longer care for the commander? So, no longer care, I must disagree. Choosing not to search for the commander and not caring for him are two rather different things. Then, what of this so-called memorial service? Whiskey seemed willing enough to help me, but then he read the letter. Whoever sent the accursed thing wants us to give up the search. I suspect your meeting with Whiskey is what the sender had intended. Like as not, your coming here was also anticipated. From everything you've told me, it's clear the man who penned the letter cares a great deal about you and understands you quite well to know you will come to us. Who in the Seventh Hells would be worried about the likes of me? Whiskey said he suspected who delivered the missive, but I hadn't the faintest idea. It's sad to me to hear you say that. We may have gone separate ways, but in our hearts, we still all of us brothers. Now tell me, who is our members cared most for you? Who was always there to offer you a guiding hand? Why, that could only be the commander. Precisely, and it was out of the desire to see you move forward that he sent the letter to you. Contrary to what it seems, the commander is alive and well. Even now he watches over you. That, I believe, was the message he wished to convey. I tire of these games. If he'd still be alive, as you say, where in the Seven Hells is he? So remember the duty of the strong and protect the weak. I'll say ... You remember our company's words? I do not doubt, but do you remember the first time you learned them? But of course, they were practically the first words out of the commander's mouth when I first met him. To this day I remember the moment vividly. We were standing atop the point overlooking Costa del Sol. If the commander had meant to verify whether I sought out Whiskey after receiving this letter, that is where he would have been. The odds are slim, I'll admit, but it's the best chance I have of finding him. I must make haste. I wasn't quite finished, if truth be told, but I suppose it can't be helped. The commander meant that much to him. From wielding a spear to living an honourable life, Landalel learned all he knows from the commander. Naught gave Landalel greater joy than to meet the commander's expectations, and he went on to distinguish himself among our ranks. After disbanding the company, I believe that the commander continued to watch over Landalel, and upon sensing his growing discontent, he decided to take action and sent the letter. The road has been bumpy, but Landalel has finally arrived at the truth. But the final leg of the journey remains, and I should be grateful if you were to accompany him. Okay, so let's go back to Costa del Sol right there. Okay, so we're just gonna go... I think we have to go up the cliff, so we're gonna go around and up. Righty, righty. Yep, here he is. Here is Landonell. Another cutscene. So, Mithrie, I might have known you would come as well. Behold, my friend, this spear belongs to the commander. Alas, the man himself is nowhere to be seen. Why does he refuse to meet me? Because you are not ready, and by now you ought to know the reason why. It took me long enough, but I think I'm beginning to understand now. As he would always tell us, the duty of the strong is to protect the weak. He wanted us to venture out into the realm and live up to those words, each in his own way. Like you, Whiskey, you were a mercenary of unquestionable renown. The world was yours for the taking, yet you chose to stand as a humble protector of Costa del Sol and all who call her home. Shamani had a hand in revitalizing the Bacchus wine industry, and both Ord and Brayflox have become leaders among their people. We reserve the realm better as individuals than as a single entity. That is why the commander disbanded our company. Though I never forgot our words, I did not understand them fully until now. Instead of doing my best as a wood whaler, I had my head in the clouds, dreaming of a return to the glory days of old. We did much good for the realm, and had the time of our lives in the process. But it was past time for us to pass the torch, and the torch, you must agree, has been taken up by the most worthy individual. The realm has no further need of the company of heroes. The commander believes thus, and I agree with his assessment. That is why I chose not to search for him. And neither shall I any more, as you said, Whiskey. I am not ready or worthy to face the commander. What a fool I've been all these years. That there is much to be done if I am to make up for lost time. Commander, if you're watching, you need to worry about me no longer. I will live up to our words and do you proud, this I swear. Your journeys take you far and wide, I believe. Should you happen to cross paths with the commander, please see to it that he knows my mind. Wow. I thought we were going to see him like dangling from the tree or something. So that's complete. Cool. So you attain carrier level 24. This is delivery. Your reputation as a letter carrier has grown. Awesome. So now let's go back to Limsa Liminza and let's see if we can accept any more quests from the Moogle Delivery. Right, so I think this should be the last quest of this entire chain. I might be wrong, but I think it is the last one according to the patch notes. So here we go, Deputy Postmoogle, quest called the Little Postmoogle That Could. So the Deputy Postmoogle would entrust you with a missive to a certain Seed Seer, and we're going to get the Postmoogle cap, so I think this is the end. Well, if it isn't my favourite whipping girl, or my most promising pupil, you couldn't have picked a better time to pay a visit. 2 of my Postmoogles in training are set to embark on their first assignment. While they have completed a thorough training session administered by yours truly, the sensitive and sympathetic superior, that's me, is ever concerned for his subordinate's safety. I have here in my paws a veritable compendium of choice counsel for the aspiring Postmoogle. Your task is to deliver it to Rhea Osina, in whose custody my subordinates have been placed at Camp Tranquil. Consider it the next stage in your training. Okay, so let's go straight to Camp Tranquil. So let's go Camp Tranquil to Rhea Osina, who's also the White Mage trainer as well. This is one of the nice things when you have a solid state hard drive. Your zone times are very, very short. So anyway, here is Rhea Osina. Cool. Let's talk to her. So, whatever is keeping the Deputy Postmoogle, he promised he'd drop by to offer some parting words of advice to his newest recruits, but he's taken so long that they've already fluttered off. You have something for me? So let's hand over this letter to Rhea Osina. It says a collection of little-known Postmoogle trivia compiled in a concise 10-page portfolio. Let's hand over. So, be wary of the low-hanging branches and remember to keep a wide berth of any go-boos moors. I say, could this choice counsel be any more blindingly obvious? That said, I cannot fault the Deputy Postmoogle for showing concern for his subordinates. After all, 'twas his own injury that pressed the two trios into active service so far ahead of schedule. Sadly, I fear that it will be some time still before his wings are fit for duty. Arun believes he has insight as to how a suitable remedy might be formulated, but the process will require the services of a first-rate alchemist. Meanwhile, I have two wet-behind-the-ears Moogles wandering aimlessly across the realm. I would like nothing more than to see them succeed at their charge, that they might inspire a new generation of aspiring Postmoogles. Yet I have my doubts that they will do so if left to their own devices. I would have accompanied them myself, but I fear my duties as Seedseer leave me little time to play chaperone. Might you be willing to see them safely to their destination in my stead? The first Moogle flew off in the direction of Quarry Mill, though he does not want for enthusiasm. He is easily frightened by unfamiliar sights and sounds. Should you find him in such a state, pray rally his strength and let him know we stand behind him. Okay, so we're going to rally the Postmoogle who's at Quarry Mill, so let's go straight there. Okay, so where is he? He's outside the walls. Ah, here he is. Let's rally. So, why thank you. I dare say you've given me the strength to carry on a bit. Wait a moment, I know you. You're the loyal delivery Makote the Deputy Postmoogle is always talking about. You came all this way to watch over me? I thank you truly, deeply, from the bottom of my little Moogle heart. You are truly a shining example to delivery Moogles everywhere. Oh, to think that one day I might be a fully fledged carrier like you and the Deputy Postmoogle. Why, it would be a dream come true. But how can I hope to reach such heights by staying here fluttering in circles? No, I must deliver this letter safely to Buscaron, just as the Deputy Postmoogle instructed me. And let me just state for the record that no matter what Rhea might have told you, I am not intimidated by this task, not in the slightest. Well, off I go. Nice. So we're gonna cheer for him. He's like halfway there. So nice. So we've been doing, the Postmoogle delivery quest for a while. I mean, you can see I've released many episodes of this series, which I will try and link in the description of the video. And it's been a very long journey, I'll be honest about it, but we're coming to an end now. And because we have so much experience of being a delivery, a Moogle delivery person, we are now training the new recruits. So here we go. Let's cheer him on. Cheer. So yes, that is exactly what I needed to hear. You're exactly right. Why, I can do anything I put my palm to. Perhaps you're wondering why one as fearful and flattering as myself doesn't just leave the stressful life as a carrier behind. But you see, what I truly wish to leave behind is my own miserable lack of courage. I remember the day like it was yesterday. My dear brother lay wounded, struck in the wing by a particular savage stropper, and yet I could do nothing but quake and quiver beside him. It was the Deputy Postmoogle who, much to our fortune, was in the vicinity on a delivery assignment, who carried my brother to Camp Tranquil, where a rune tended to his injuries. Today it is our turn. We shall do our duty and help the Postmoogle in his time of need, just as he did for us. And after all you have done for me, it would mean ever so much if you would drop by to witness a moment. I will wait for you at Buscaron's Drovers. Cool. So let's go. We just have to go to this building right here. So right inside. It's good as the more you play this game, the more you learn all the locations and the name of all the little caverns and everything in the game. So anyway, let's talk to him. So, I've made it. Aren't you proud of me? Now behold, as I deliver this letter straight from my paws to Buscaron's, while remaining stealthily out of sight, just as the Deputy Postmoogle showed me. So, bloody hells, if it isn't a Moogle in the flesh. Talk about something you don't see every day. Well, he failed that part. Oh no, in my eagerness I've gone and blown my cover. The Deputy Postmoogle will never let me hear the end of it. So you Moogles like to stay out of sight when you make your deliveries, eh? No wonder letters have a habit of appearing out of thin air. Sounds like a right thankless job, but you have my gratitude today. Did you hear that? Mr. Buckaroo gave me his gratitude. Why, this is just might be the happiest day of my life. Since you've proven yourself a capable sort, mayhap you could do me a favour. I have a letter here marked for Baderon in Limsa that somehow found its way here into the Drovers. Oh dear me, this is doubtless a work of my confident yet careless brother. The two of us, you see, have taken our over deliveries here in the shroud, while the Deputy Postmoogle rests his wounded wings. Oh, pray forgive us for our failings. You to the job, eh? You needn't go flogging yourselves now. Baderon and I, well, our names and professions do bear more than a passing resemblance, after all. Besides, I dare say that having the chance to meet my first Moogle is worth an errant letter or two. That said, it troubles me to hear this associate of yours, the Deputy Postmoogle was it, has come to harm. Might there be anything I could do to lend a hand? Speak of the medicine. Speak of the need for an alchemist. Okay. I see. Just leave that to me, friend. If memory serves, one of my regulars is something of an expert in such matters. As for Baderon's letter, have no fear. My brother and I will atone for our errors and see it's delivered to the right hands. That said, for all of my brother's bravado, I suspect that deep down he too feels a measure of anxiety about his first foray outside the shroud. Might you be so kind as to escort him as you did me? It would mean the realm to me. We agreed to meet at the Gridania airship landing. I will pass this letter along to him and wait for you to join us. Okay, so let's go home to Gridania and go straight there. Gridania, my hometown, just as Sandaria was in Final Fantasy XI. Thankfully there's no bagpipes playing here. Anyway, so the airship landing is downstairs, so let's go. And down we go. Whee! Okay, here we go. Presumptuous Postmoogle. So, you're the Deputy Postmoogle's prized pupil, eh? Didn't he teach you anything about punctuality? I don't know what my little brother told you, but I've trained my whole life for this. This might be my first time out of the shroud, but if anyone's up to the task, it's me. Please, brother, if you got yourself hurt again, I simply couldn't live with myself. Pray let this adventurer accompany you, just for safety's sake. Ever the worrywart. Look, just because you can't fly more than 2 foams without getting the quivers, it doesn't mean that your brother is in need of a chaperone. That's what you said last time when you almost got yourself swallowed by that slavering stropper. Why, if the Deputy Postmoogle hadn't wandered by at that precise moment... that was then, this is now. I've put on 2 ponzes of pure muscle and poured over every map of Eorzea to prepare myself for this task. The last thing I need is some glorified sellsword holding my paw. Now enough chit-chat. I have an airship to board. If you want to see how a real delivery Moogle does his duty, feel free to tag along. Or don't. It's your loss, not mine. Charming. So, let's go to Limsa Laminza. So seek passage to Limsa Laminza. Yes. Okay, here we go. So, this is Limsa Laminza. Everything here is so big and boisterous, and the smell of the sea is sending needles up my nose. Nervous, me? Patently preposterous. I was born up for this assignment. Did you not notice the ablob with which I handled my maiden airship voyage? Need to throw up, I think. But no, a buccaneer's den like this is no place for ordinary Moogle. With the Deputy Postmoogle out of commission, the people of Limsa are lucky indeed that I am here to shoulder the slack. Speaking of which, I believe I have a letter to deliver. If you care to learn a thing or two, come and join me at the Drowning Wench. But you'll want to move fast, I'm a busy Moogle. You're talking to the master, sonny. So anyway, Drowning Wench, here we go. Right, so let's again talk to the Moogle. So, what took you so long? Take a wrong turn at the Octan? Good thing I'm the one in charge of this assignment. Why haven't you delivered the letter yet? Well, it's not because I'm scared of that burly bearded gentleman over there. That's for certain. I just wanted to give you a chance to witness mastery in motion. Now watch me deliver this letter all discreet like. So bugger me with a broadsword. Which one of your swiveling sops set your wind-up Moogle loose in my establishment? Wind-up? Are you blind or just balmy? I'm a living, breathing Moogle, not some glorified child's toy. Oop, those goes my cover. Are me eyes and ears to be believed? A god's honest Moogle? Ear in the wench? A letter? I thank you, me furry little friend, but strap me on to the mast if this ain't a rare pleasure indeed. I've heard many a rumour about your kind, but I always reckoned you weren't too keen on letting yourselves be seen. But of course, I simply thought that on this momentous occasion, my first foray to your fine nation, I would take the opportunity to personally introduce myself. I am sure that's what the Deputy Postmoogle, bless his wounded wings, would have wanted. What's that you say? One of your mates is is he? Men in me line of work tend to know a little something about everything. If there's anything you might need of me, say the word. So speak of the medicine, speak of need of an alchemist. Let's speak of the medicine this time. So I reckon one of me regulars just might know a thing or two about that sort of business. I'll send word if I dig anything up, With that, I'd best get back to pouring grog before one of me customers conks you in the head with an empty flagon. See, I told you there was nothing to be afraid of. Exploring new environs, forging friendships with the locals. Yeah, the carrier's life is the life for me. But what I've accomplished today will have even more far-reaching repercussions. Yes, once my fellow Moogles back in the Shroud hear of my stunning success, they'll be beating down our doors to join the post-Moogle ranks. And since you've been such a loyal observer, I'll give you the honour of reporting my deeds to Rayo O. Oh, if only the Deputy Postmoogle were here. Doubtless he would be moved to tears by my magnanimity. Speaking of which, I really should pay him a visit. Oh dear. Okay, so we're going to report apparently to the Sanctum of the 12. So let's go to Hearthorn Hut and run. So the Moogle Delivery quests just give you optional storylines, optional histories of different characters and so on. Basically every character in the game that you can see has got a green name above the head, a named character, has got a purpose in this game one way or another. So it is interesting to see what purpose they have and how they link together. So here we go. So we just have to run straight to the Sanctum of the 12. So it is a nice game, let's say, to say it bluntly. Beautiful graphics, wonderful environments, great story, great music, great people. You know, there's a million reasons to play this game. Absolutely. I've been running the lands of Eorzea since August 2013 when the game came out. As you can see, more than 600 episodes so far, and I'm just waiting for more. Right, so the expansion Evans War comes out on the 19th of June for early release, and I can't wait. So anyway, here is Rayo Asina. So let's talk to her. So welcome back. I hear there's first assignment was quite the success, and you have played a pivotal role in seeing that it was so. For this I thank you. I must offer my gratitude as well, knowing that the two younglings were in the capable hands allowed me to focus my mind on Deputy Postmoogle's treatment, with which I have made considerable progress. At first, the mere thought of an adventurer accompanying me on my assignment annoyed me to no end, but now I say the more the merrier. And with word of your success spreading throughout the Twelveswood, aspiring delivery Moogles are signing up in droves, while the ranks have burgeoned such that we could assign 2 Moogles to each task if we chose, and judging by the recent events, that might very well be wise. Heartening tidings indeed. I dare say that Deputy Postmoogle may rest and recuperate for as long as he desires. Why, I might even suggest an early retirement. Retirement? God's forbid. I am still a Postmoogle in my prime. The mere thought of hanging up my letter sack for good, why, wherever would I derive pleasure and meaning from my meagre existence? I mostly assuredly agree, Kupo. The sheer joy of seeing satisfied faces after a job well done instilled me with a newfound energy and enthusiasm. After all my superior has done for me, I could not bear to see him deprived of his most splendid sensation. Intriguing. Thus far I have concentrated my efforts on physical remedies, but perhaps lightening the post-Moogle spirits might serve to speed the recovery process. At the very least, it is an avenue worth exploring. You just may be on something there, dear brother. So I can resume my duties once I've healed. No more talk of putting me out or to pasture. If that is your true desire, how can we deny it of you? I only ask that you take care not to overexert yourself. By the 12, to think I'd ever see a Moogle who truly lives for his work. and with all the younglings eager to follow in his footsteps, we should be able to manage without imposing on adventurers for a while. Just leave it to us. My brother and I understand the significance and satisfaction of our job now once more than ever. We won't let you down. Now, that's the spirit, and it's all thanks to you, my artful assist. But no, you have proved to be far more than just a helpful hand. You have earned the respect of the young ones and mine as well. Mithrie, by the powers vested in me as Deputy Postmoogle, I hereby name you a fully fledged letter carrier. The honour is typically reserved for Moogles, but I am happy to make an exception in your case. While I would love to give you your next assignment, the young ones are in more immediate need of training. Well, don't let your skills wane, for there is no telling when we will call on you again. Cough, Heavensward cough. Cool. So let's complete. Let's get our Postmoogle cap. Done. So we leveled up again. So you attain carrier level 25. With your successful delivery, your reputation as a letter carrier has grown. In recognition of your efforts, the Deputy Postmoogle has promoted you to the rank of fully fledged letter carrier. Though it may be some time before your next assignment, be ever ready to return to duty should the Moogles require your aid. So that's it. And we've just done the achievement Postal. So let's see. Postal. So it says, complete the quest, the Little Postmoogle that could. We earned the title Postmaster. So let's equip that now. So to equip a title, open up your character menu using C, or click character here and character. Then go to profile, click on title. As you can see, I've got a lot of titles in this game. Click on Postmaster, and that's it. I am now Postmaster Mithrie. Let's try on the hat. There we go. Nice. So here we go. So I am now a Master Post girl after so long. It was a very, very long quest chain, but it definitely was worth it. It took us all over the world. So let's let out cheer. And that's it. So anyway, guys, I hope you liked this series of quests. And it's just one of the alternate stories in the game. Like the Hildebrand quest, the Postmoogle just offers you something else to do. You know, like a distraction from the day-to-day dungeons and things like that. So anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. And as always, goodbye from me and goodbye from Mithrie.